I have always had this thing for RC airboats, we're modifying propeller boats and just taking out the propeller shaft and putting a electric engine like this, putting them right on top of it, such as this. And it's just always been really fun. I don't know why I like doing it. I mean, they can just go through, they can ride on top of grass, on top of snow and everything. A couple of months ago, I got a 3D printer for my birthday, and I decided to design and 3D print a RC airboat just to see how fast it'll go and just to experiment on 3D printed objects to see if they're really good, or how good are they for water or for snow, how durable are they, and that kind of thing. So let's just go see on how I built it. Alright, so let's start off with the design first. So it does have some fails. So this was one of the fails. I completely lost all sense of proportion and size. I just kind of modeled it and I'm like, oh, okay, that looks good. And so I just started printing a section of it. So the design itself, it was very simple. It took me just took me like one day to design the boat itself. So here are all the things, and I also did it in sections, split it, because it's so big. It's 1 foot wide and 2 feet tall, so it's a pretty big boat. And 3 parts or 6 parts, I had to print it in 6 parts, because 3 parts, it's still too big for my printer, too wide. But the boat itself I designed in Blender. It took me a day to design it, and then it took me like 3 days to cut it up into 6 sections. So yeah, this is the boat, the hatch, the lid. I also had to cut it in two sections, because I could not print it in one piece. My printer can only print 220 by 220 by 250 millimeters. Yeah, so I also designed these EDF cover things. They just kind of go over it. I printed those, but I ended up not using them. They're useless. Those are the EDF mounts. It's a very simple boat, and you can download the files for free in the link in the description.
What follows is a brief construction montage. hope you enjoyed this brief construction montage.
Alright, so I just wanted to show you on kind of what I did. So to put the bottom half and the middle half of the section together, I didn't use just epoxy. I don't feel like that would be strong enough. So I used, you can barely see it, I used arrow rods. You can barely see them, but I used arrow rods. And then I just epoxied them, you know, half it's to here, the other half there. But yeah. And then for the front section to the middle section, I just epoxy. That's it. That's the only way it's holding on. Well, also with the foam. I still need to spray in foam over there. But yeah, so I have a 80 amp speed controller controlling the motor and a 6-cell battery, which, you know, it's around 25 volts when fully charged. So I'm not actually 100% done. I still need to fill in all these gaps in the bottom. That right there is not hot glue, it's just silicone. And I tested it in the bathtub to see where it leaks, and it leaks, of course, mainly right there. I wouldn't know right there because the foam is there. Actually, no, there's a bunch of silicone right there, but it doesn't leak from there. It just mainly leaks from this area. So I just have to put epoxy all over the gaps, and then I'll be pretty much done and ready for the water. But let's just go test it out in the snow to see how good it goes. The weather recently has not been really great, and when the hell was really good. I could not go test it out on the lake, but the boat is here. It's not simple. I disassembled it to take out the EDF, but it does work. I just need to disassemble it because I need to paint it. But it is, you know, it's fine. But the thing is, whenever there is good weather, right now, like it's only Tuesday, and I have school to do, right? So I cannot go and test it out, and really Saturdays are the only days. And only my dad is only off for 2 Saturdays and 1 Saturday working, and just keep on repeating. And so whenever he is home, like 50% of the time, the weather is not so great, and it's been over a month since I finished this project. So I'm just gonna end the video right here. I'm gonna do like a part 2 where we test it out on the water, and I will talk more about the design and how designed it, where I got the design from, and the print settings and all that stuff. And also for a video that you might see in a couple of months, is about a hydroplane RC boat. This time it's not gonna be 3D printed because it is really heavy. This right here with just a servo is like around 2 pounds, which is way more than I would like. But so I'm going to maybe 3D print molds and make it out of fiberglass or something like that. And here are some templates that I printed out. I'm gonna be using this new EDF that I just recently bought. I was using this one, just the blade. It was the original one, but then it cracked, so I 3D printed a new one on my 3D printer there. But it works mostly. But anyways, these are the templates for the hydroplane boat. And here's the 3D design. I think it looked pretty cool. You know, the EDF just sits right on top of there, just sits right on top, and then yeah, it just closes. So I think it's gonna be really cool. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. And well, that's it for this time. See ya.